All right, you guys, we're almost there. It's week 24 of the 2025 Street Parking Vault. And this week, we're gonna take on PANLONG. Your Program B version of PANLONG is on a 10-minute clock. Complete 3 rounds of 15 thrusters and 10 object-facing burpees. When you finish, you will rest until the clock hits 10 minutes, at which time you will do one unbroken set, one max set of thrusters. All right, we've got 2 scores for this workout. Obviously, your first score is gonna be your total time for the 3 rounds, and your second score will be the number of thruster reps you complete. The goal for part 1 is gonna be between 5 and 8 minutes, and the goal for part 2 will be 20 plus reps. All right, you guys, we're almost there. It's week 24 of the 2025 Street Parking Vault, and this week we are taking on PANLONG. Your shift version of the workout is as follows. You're gonna start with 5 rounds of 6 dumbbell squat and press and 6 dumbbell facing burpees. When you've completed all 5 rounds, you will rest for 2 minutes, and then you will complete 2 minutes max reps of dumbbell squat and press. We've got 2 scores for this workout. First, your total time from the 5-round part, and then your total number of reps from the 2-minute AMRAP. The goal for part 1 is 6 to 9 minutes, and the goal for part 2 is 14 to 20 reps.
All right, guys, welcome to week 24 of the Vault. Julian and I are gonna be getting after PANLONG. He's going to be doing Program B, and I'm gonna be doing Program A.
All right. Whoa. Whew. Chels. Are you gonna do this over? Are you gonna do this one again?
I mean, we'll see. I don't want to do it again. This would be the 3rd time I will have done it if I do it again, but I'll probably just do a different version. I tested this workout with a barbell, and that's why I asked you if I could use dumbbells.
Sure. And how was it with the switch? What would you?
You know, dumbbells for me with the thruster taxes my shoulders a lot more, and I definitely felt it. And you might even see it in this video at some point, my arms getting shaky, especially during the unbroken part.
Yeah.
And that's really the difference for me between barbell and dumbbell when it comes to thrusters.
Yeah, there was, as I think the highlight clip that Emma had pulled. Oh, you want to say hi? You want to say here? Okay, I need you to go tell Mama, buddy. Go.
Yeah, Julie, nice work.
Okay, well, Brooklyn's about to get here, buddy, okay? Okay, give me a moment, all right? Yeah, so, you know, I'm curious. I know Salvi's going to probably want to hit this today. And I'm tempted, you know. I don't know if I were to do this, I definitely push the intensity a lot to try to keep up with you on that first part. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, so you guys will kind of, I don't want to give it away, but Julian and I were very neck and neck. Actually, I was very happy that I was ahead of him. Yeah, maybe that gave it away. But I was like, what? I'm ahead of Julian right now? But I tried really hard, but honestly, those thrusters killed me. So we decided to go extra challenge, which is, we did extra challenge weight and extra challenge burpees. So it's 10 object facing burpees, but for extra challenge, it's 15. And we both went heavier. So I used 35-pound dumbbells. What did you use, Julian, on the bar?
I went 150.
Was that 115?
No, did I go? I did go 115 because I threw 35s and then 5s on that thing. So yeah, I went 115 for this workout.
Yeah, so we went full extra challenge. Yeah, it was a lot, but I would say that when you guys are teetering around like what weight to use, we do want really high intensity for that first part. So don't game anything for your unbroken set of thrusters, like really just plan on going for it. And if you know you can do that with a lighter weight, like it's okay to go lighter. Julian and I were pretty confident with our ability by going extra challenge and using a little bit heavier weight. And I think we honestly nailed it in that regard.
Oh no, what happened to Beck? Okay, so gonna have to get after this one this afternoon since there won't be any more thrusters in my life for a while. torn supraspinatus. Oh my goodness, what happened? What happened, brother?
Oh no.
Oh no, subscap and bicep tendon getting fixed on Wednesday. Hey, listen, my brother, you what might be. Yeah, make sure you reach out to a coach, or let's keep you moving still in some way. Okay, so reach out to the coaches so that way we can continue to support you during this next season here. All right, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I love how Miranda was like peeking in there because she's like, man, I just wanted to
Yeah.
see you guys just go full pain cave.
Yeah, which we definitely did go full pain cave. So guys, this is short. The first part goal is only 5 to 8 minutes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What do you remember? What time we?
I think we finished. Both of us finished just after 5 minutes.
Okay. Cool.
So actually, this is our last round. Like we're already there.
This is where I decided to kind of ramp it up a little bit more. I was like, all right, I'm gonna catch her.
So speaking of dumbbells, harder on my shoulders. Like there's no way I could have pushed through and broken. Like look at my face. I'm already like dying.
Oh, you broke on the last set?
I broke, but Julian went unbroken. That's where he got me. See, he's already done.
Yeah, because then I went for it on the burpees. I was like, I'm gonna catch her.
Yeah. And for the burpees, guys, I would say like you don't really need to sprint these. Like be intentional when you're moving through the thrusters. Like keep your rest short when you're breaking up the bar and stuff like that. But for these, until you're at your final set, like I don't want to tell you to pace them. I'm just telling you that they don't need to be all out. Because you want to leave a little gas in the tank. And if you go out too hard on the burpees, you might not have that towards the end. So just keep that in mind. We definitely sprinted the last bit here. Like I was going as hard as I could. It doesn't really seem like it, but I definitely
No, we were going for it. Shoot, I'm like looking at my burpees. I was going full Brooke Wells burpees.
So Julian was just over 5 minutes. I was like 5:12, somewhere in there.
What did I just saw? Monisha said this has to be one of my favorite vault workouts. I use my 30-pound sandbag. That's fun. Way to go, Monisha.
You know, I might use a sandbag since I already did dumbbell and barbell, so sounds fun.
Oh yeah.
It was super spicy.
Over here, Northern Ireland, Aiden out in Northern Ireland. My goodness. But I've talked myself out of using heavier weights, kept it moving though. I really like that. I've been in this season too where I've been talking myself out of going heavier and just really focusing on good movement and just, hey, yay for fitness, you know?
Yeah, heavier is not always the best option. Sometimes light and focusing on your movement or just going harder will give you the best outcome for your fitness.
Yeah. I remember this window here felt, I think I'm gonna start talking a little bit.
Julie said Brooke Wells burpees.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what they were.
I love that.
I don't know. We'll see if that was a mistake. Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Very tired.
I can't believe it. I just
really hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is this our job, Chelsea?
I don't know.
I was not happy about it. I made myself push.
Ouch.
Faster you go, the more rest you get.
Yeah. It's like a hard mile, 5 minute recovery. Talk about that first part is all about intensity for sure. You're gonna be flying through that thing. You're gonna try to go sub 6, go lighter on the weight than you think because again you're gonna have to push the burpees and then by the time you pick up the second set of thrusters, your heart rate's already jacked, so you want to be able to confidently pick up and go 2 sets at no more than 2 sets. No more. If you were doing more than that, you went too heavy.
Why is it so scary right now? I was like dreading going into this next part.
Yeah, I would say if I cherry pick anything, it's like unbroken things. They're my least favorite thing to do. It's so mental.
Totally. I mean, that was one of our, I'm not going to reveal it too much, but that was one of our testers of the grit thing coming up with this next focus. It was like
Yeah.
an unbroken thing of something. I was like, oh, I was not
Yeah.
down for it, but I did it.
Yeah. Because it's like you have to dig way deeper than you maybe want to. You could always squeeze out 1 or 2 more reps, right?
I remember thinking in this moment, because I was like, I need a glory song right now because I am not ready.
Yeah. So when I tested it, I finished around like 5:30 or 5, somewhere around there. And we were faster. And I think I told you this, but I think even just that 30-second faster push really affected the second part. And that's why we really want you guys to just send it on part
Yeah,
1.
send it.
Don't leave anything. Yeah. Don't leave anything in the tank.
Oh, nice. This is a great question, AMA Fishing.
Yeah.
What type of warm-up do you all use to prime the engine? I actually warmed up with coffee.
I don't remember. But I'm sure I did some kind of monostructural movement and some dynamic stretching. And then whenever I do workouts like this, though, I like to do a couple practice rounds, which I think I did do. So some thrusters and some burpees and things like that, just to get my heart rate ramped up. What I would not recommend is not getting your heart rate up before such a short workout. So you want to make sure that you're able to get your heart rate up before.
Totally. Absolutely. I would say I recommend moving for 47 minutes and start ramping up the intensity a bit, because the last thing you want to do is to shock your body going into the first round, because you'll start to panic. So
yeah, for sure. So here we go. Unbroken set. All you have, nothing left.
Oh my goodness. Monique, 66 thrusters. Man.
Holy cow.
They were moving on that thing. There we go. What a beast. What a beast. Obviously, I want to see how many you got. I don't remember how many you got.
I got 20.
Oh, shoot. So I got you with that one rep, huh?
Yeah, if I would have known. I was pushing, guys, though. I had to fight for the last 5
Oh, my goodness.
reps.
Look at those. Oh,
They're
gosh.
bad. They're bad.
Oh, no.
I was like, I have to get the minimum goal here. Like, I have to at least get the minimum.
What was the minimum?
20.
Oh, my goodness. We barely went over it.
Yeah.
All right. What year is this? We are many years into the street parking vault. This workout will close out the first round.
Nice. I appreciate the editing on that, Emma. That's me. What I feel like regularly from the hours of 9 till 5. Yeah, just like in processing mode. Yeah. So going back to the warm up, I know I made the joke around coffee, but I would say I did move a little bit. I was, 47 minutes start to ramp up. A good way to warm up, especially for what you're about to do. I think Beck nailed it. Definitely bring out lighter weights and mimic the movements that you're doing. So whether you're going out on a light jog and then doing like 5 to 7 thrusters with the lighter weights, same thing with a couple of burpees as well, and do like 3 rounds of something like that and start to build up intensity as you go through it. And then after that, start moving your body, get stretching, opening up the hips for the thrusters, getting a little bit of shoulder warm up. So that way you're fully locking out those elbows, you get the shoulders, you're not limited by your range of motion. So I'd spend about 10 minutes doing a warm up before you jump right into this thing. Okay. Do not run right in, because you're going to hit a wall 1.5 rounds in, and then you're limited more by that more than your actual fitness. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for those, I can't stress it enough. When the workouts are so short like that, a proper warm up is so important. You'll get the most out of the workout by doing that. It's going to be hard for your system to adjust that quickly to intensity if you haven't got a really solid warm up in where your heart rate is up and breathing somewhat hard before you go.
Awesome. Well, guys, look, we're one vault away from wrapping up the first round. I know how many of you guys watching right now are locked in. I mean, you guys are the committed viewers for sure. How many of you guys are on track to log all 25 vault workouts and are also going to go for that 50 for 50? Okay, what is okay? I always start with the 5 minutes on the assault bike, low RPMs, 4 to 5 minutes, then hit practice rounds. Absolutely. There we
That's
go.
perfect. Yeah.
Got it down. Um, All right, let's take yeah, we got 1 week left. We got week 25. And remember, we are going to take a 1 week break before we go right back into round 2, which we will be doing team version in addition to, the regular vault workout. So I look forward to seeing what you guys are going to be able to bust out there. All right, so Aaron, yep, first year to try for the 50. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Nice, Aaron.
I love it.
That's an amazing accomplishment. Aiden is locked in. And Julie has 23 of 25. I'll be honest, I've done all the workouts. I did forget to log a couple. Sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, totally. I haven't done 50 for 50 yet. I need to see how it will fit into 10K training, which starts in July. I'm looking forward to seeing you crush that 10K, Julie. Super pumped. All right, so let's go ahead and take a dive into this week's. Okay. I was looking. Miranda was programming some workouts last night, and she was showing me. And I got to say, we got some good ones coming up. I was like, nice.
Yeah, we do. She actually put them in. I looked at them this morning too.
They're great, huh?
Stuff. Yeah, there's some fun ones coming down.
I have to say though, like I really appreciate even today. We're going like behind the scenes. I know you guys have a coach's call, right? Yeah, and you guys are going to talk about the programming and stuff like that. There's so much to figure out around how to navigate programming for the community at large, and I really look forward to kind of getting back to some kind of like what Miranda was showing me yesterday, and looking at ways to incorporate some of the stuff that Danny has been plugging in, though, because it's so valuable and useful.
Yeah.
When I'm in the street parking social media, I see people tagging us. They're doing handstand holds. They are doing like the feet elevated squat. I like seeing that. It's like, great, good for you. Like branching outside of the norm or what, and changing your fitness up. And I think working on skills, taking the time to work on skills. I love that.
Yeah, really it is really cool.
All right, let's take a look. So Tuesday, go ahead, pitch us off.
So Tuesday, we have kind of like a 2-part workout. When I look at this workout, there's more like a strength before, and this is kind of how I'm looking at it. And then the second part is more kind of designed to bring your heart rate up and get you breathing somewhat hard. So you guys can kind of view it in 2 different ways. I think part 1, really, you could treat it as strength by going a little bit heavier on the bent over row, maybe, increasing the reps or the times as it is appropriate for you for the hollow hold and the leg raises. And then part 2 is kind of, you've got the toe to bar and the farmer carry and the box jump over. So you're going to get your heart rate up a little bit, but it won't be like soul crushing. But it'll kind of leave you with that feeling of like, oh yeah, I worked out, where part 1 might not be quite enough to do that, but it will add to part 2 because there's a lot of core involved in this workout. When I look at it, that's what I see.
Absolutely. And obviously like picking, because we're going after the vault, which was definitely high. If we're approaching the vault appropriately, that's intensity, right? That is
a lot. Yeah.
There's no hiding from that. Now, if you kind of just mail it in, you're like, whatever, I'm just gonna do the vault, which is okay. That's your choice. But then if you go into Tuesday, you're gonna feel like you had 2 back-to-back days where you're just like, this feels like a lot of lower intensity. Tackle the vault hard. Don't shy away from it. That way you can appreciate Tuesday's workout.
Right. The both times I did the vault workout and the testing and when I did it, it's only 45 squats, right? It's 45 thrusters total. It's really not that many, within street parking, we do some very high volume workouts, but the intensity that I did it at both times made me super sore. So
totally
keep that in mind. If you go hard, like today, you might be sore. So kind of taking things down and dialing it back will be really helpful.
Absolutely. And this is good. This is really good.
And then, program B, and I believe is just the only difference there is barbell bent over row, and same idea, I think, for maybe program C is a sandbag bent over row. And then you have a suitcase carry instead of a dumbbell farmer carry. So you can essentially do the entire thing with just a sandbag and a box and your pull-up bar, or if you're doing V-ups or something like that, you can just need your sandbag. So
Absolutely. Yes. All right, moving on to Wednesday.
thank God.
Yeah,
I was
look
looking at this. We've been running for a long time the last couple of weeks, guys.
Oh
So
my goodness.
this
It's
one,
so interesting. I thought I was going to be a mixed modality type of individual, but I'm actually not.
yeah.
I've been really just focusing on the running.
Uh-huh.
Because and here's the deal, because I have a very specific focus. Like I really want to try to go for try to get a sub 21 5K at the end of this endurance focus. So hopefully I can, bust that out. But all right.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that. I kind of thought the same thing. I was like, oh, mix sounds really fun. But once we started it, I've just been running the whole time, just sticking with the runner.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for this week. The last couple of weeks have been some long runs. So I kind of added it up. This one's going to be quite a bit shorter, probably around 20, right around 24 or just over 24 minutes. So a little bit less, but really focusing in on some paces and some very hard paces.
Wow, look at that. So a 600-meter moderate into hard and then very hard for a 200. Like that's, here's the deal. Yeah, that's going to be intense.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but when you approach, and this is just us talking about the run specific here, but when you approach those very hards, that's intensity right there. We're back at it right there. So whether you use the rower, the bike, or the run, right? When I stick to running and I go hard, my obliques start to get really sore.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I start to get sore, all hip flexors, calves.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a 2-minute rest in between rounds. Thank goodness. But yeah, we're taking it back up. Whether you're using the bike, row, run, or mixed modality,
Yeah, and I've noticed too, like for me, it can be such a mental thing when I'm running for a long time and I have to go very hard at the end. Like that's hard. So this one, the time is less, but the intensity kind of is going up.
Yes. All right. So have fun with that one, guys. We look forward to checking in with you. I know we'll be doing it with the staff tomorrow at the office. And then we'll keep you guys updated on those little notes there. I love how this is just normal noise for us at this point, Chelsea.
I know.
All right, Thursday. This is street parking, guys. By the way, this is street parking. All right, Thursday. We got 5 rounds. So now, if we approached Wednesday appropriately, right? We didn't shy away from it. We did not cherry pick it. We went hard when we were supposed to. We went very hard when we were supposed to. For the 4 rounds. That's and we're going for over 24 minutes here. We're back to a Thursday, which is 5 rounds. We have our 8 right staggered stance dumbbell deadlift, and then staggered stance on the left into push-up pull across. Okay, cool. What you think about that?
I like this one. You guys have the opportunity this could be treated as a heavy day and you can kind of just move through it. So we're not scoring time or scoring the weight that you use. So I like it for that reason, but I also like it because you can easily flip it. So if you are someone who likes to go hard more often and that's kind of your jam, even for program B where the reps change a little bit, you guys can still treat this as a 4-time workout and you'll kind of get that feeling that you're looking for. But also, again, if you want to dial things back and really focus on strength, you could do that. And specifically, for program B, sorry, I'm changing back to program B. You guys can use the same weight all the way across. Or if you want to treat it, like a true heavy day, you could just build in weight sort of with each set. And that could be a fun way to approach it and kind of slow things down for yourself.
You want to know, for those of you guys, how many of you guys watching right now are glory dazers? Julie, by the way, I did see that comment. I want to laugh with you, but I also I get it. I think we all go through that. She's like, I just want to look like I'm going hard. It feels hard. And then I watch my videos. Hey, we feel that way too, Julie. Don't worry. Okay? You're not alone there. That's just, it is what it is. All right. So I do like that. Yeah. Program B is very fun. When I can, I am. Michaela. So here's what I'm going to throw at you guys. And this is actually what I was talking to Miranda about recently. I am the type of person where I'll take a workout and I look at it and I'm like, cool, I'm going to have fun with this and I'm going to throw a different Glory Days Extra Challenge version. So when I look at this, I am going to go up in weight every single time because it's not often that I lift heavy. So when I see formats that are 5, 12, 9, 6, 3, I was absolutely right away. I'm going up and I'm going to slow down a lot. And then what I'm going to do, and I like how it says, if you want to do Glory Days, go kipping or strict handstand push-ups. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go wall facing strict handstand push-ups.
Oof.
Those challenge me so much
Yeah.
because I'm really good at kipping. I'm really good at regular strict handstand push-ups. At this point, either I go deficit or I go wall facing handstand
Yeah,
push-ups.
I was going to say deficit would be another fun way to do
But
it
what I
too.
like about the wall facing, it really makes me focus on my positioning, like my midline, being in that very upright positioning, where sometimes I can game it a little bit, even going like, regular strict handstand push-ups, which is kind of interesting. But it's not game it. I think I just have worked on it so much that I get it. So going wall facing pushes me out of my comfort zone, and I like being a student again. So yeah, I am, would do wall facing strict handstand push-ups. Or but some of you guys look at the Glory Days option. Go heavier as you can because you went endurance focus. Load up that barbell, load up those weights. Okay. All right. Would you change the reps of the handstand push-ups? Now, for me personally, no, because over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's going to be 50 strict handstand push-ups. That's not a lot of volume for me.
Yeah.
But it might be for some other people, right? So
You definitely could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it just depends on, I think, where you're at in your journey with it. Like if it's something that's super challenging for you, you're going to view this day as more of like a heavy skill day. And maybe you do bring down the reps, right?
Totally.
But if you like doing the total volume and you're like 50 reps, I can handle that, then go for that. But you definitely have the freedom to adjust it to what's like an appropriate number for you. And then viewing the day as like the heavy skill day.
And this is what I will say. If you're going to, when you ask, like, what would you change the rep scheme to? When I look at a workout like this, anything that would require me to break more than twice, I'm out of my league.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything after that, it's like, no, I've kind of done something way past that I should have for what the skill is and what this workout is asking of me to do. So even when I go approach this, maybe I'm resting 1 minute before I kick myself up into the wall. I'm going to try to go all 10 unbroken. If not, I'm going to go 6 or 7 and then finish it off.
Yeah.
So that's how I would answer that for some of you guys that are in the Glory Daysers. All right, moving on. To Friday. Moving on to Friday.
Whew.
Okay, so now we're looking at we got the endurance. How do we want to speak to this? Do we want to speak to endurance focus or we're going to speak to regular?
Let's do the regular first.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, because the endurance focus, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so this one is kind of deceiving, I guess is the right word, because there's a lot of 200-meter runs smashed into one round. And there's only 2 rounds of the workout, but there's just a lot of 200-meter runs. So, I mean, it's not too much running. Like if you guys have been following along, we've been doing a lot of running. So, or if you've been doing that option, it's only a mile accumulates to be. But yeah, I really like this one. It's simple. All you need is a pair of dumbbells and a place to run, or if you're doing the bike row version. But I am looking forward to doing this one for sure.
Keep chatting on that really quick, Chelsea. I'm not sure if somebody rang the doorbell. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, no worries. We have the single arm overhead lunge, which I love. It's just a really fun way to kind of change things up. And then if you guys go to program B, we have the barbell option, which we don't program these often, but we have the overhead barbell lunge. So the reps are just kind of, you guys are going to alternate your legs, obviously, while you're doing these lunges. But make sure you watch the demo video for those, because I talk a lot about how important it is to, keep the barbell over the line of your body if that's an option that you try to do. But that's a really, in my opinion, can be a really technical, high skill movement to do, barbell overhead lunges.
Oh, absolutely.
Dumbbells are much easier. So that's why you kind of have the option. But yeah, program B could be fun. If you have really good shoulder overhead positioning, try it out, see how it goes. And then
the kettlebells, go kettlebell overhead lunge.
Oof. Kettlebell. Yeah. And if you guys want to go like a fun way, extra challenge, I even thought when I was looking at this workout would be like one arm up, one arm in the front rack. while you're doing the lunges and then switching, left arm overhead, one in the front rack. Just another way, because you're already going to have 2 weights out, for the shoulder rack lunge. But yeah, that could be fun.
What do we have for endurance focus? Is it 400s?
No. So this one's kind of like, it's like a pyramid kind of chipper where you're working up, and make sure you read it clearly because it's formatted completely differently in the sense that you're still going to do all the same movements, but we've not only increased the run distances, you'll notice that some of the lunges are more condensed. So like it's a 48, it's just, the whole thing is for time. So instead of being broken up into 2 rounds with rest, it's all condensed into 1. So it's definitely going to be a little bit more challenging.
Wow.
Where the other versions are like, you're going to kind of push hard for each round, where this one is like, just find your pace and settle in and chip away. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I don't know what I gotta say. I think now that we've been doing CrossFit style workouts for, definitely over a decade at this point, I can really appreciate the simplicity of a couplet and a triplet.
Yeah. Like even Program A, this version is very simple. And I love that.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm totally. Yeah. Well, we have a lot of fun workouts this week, guys. Honestly, I really hope that, do you have anything else to say before we
Saturday? We'll go over Saturday.
Oh, this is Fridays. That's right.
Yeah, it's Friday. So Saturday, we have just a classic 20-minute AMRAP. Also very simple. And there is a Glory Days option for Program C. I think it's rope climbs. Yeah.
Look at that.
So it's rope climbs instead of the kipping pull-up.
There we go.
And you could make it, double Glory Days by adding the handstand walk, speaking of Glory Days. But this one's just a really simple one. Start a clock for 20 minutes and move. You have mostly body weight movements and, obviously aside from the snatch, which will get your heart rate up some, but it'll kind of be good to settle in once you go back to the wall walks and just settling in with some body weight movements and staying consistently moving for 20 minutes. Super simple.
That's fun. There we go.
Yeah.
I look at this week and I'm like, man, talk about, this is a solid week. I really can appreciate this.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't have much to say to that.
Yeah. Just some simple workouts that are pretty fun. And obviously you guys always have the freedom to make them how you want. And if you're not really sure, you can always email a coach and ask, or drop it in the Facebook page.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Aiden. And yes, Michaela, absolutely. We have a great week. So a couple things for those of you guys listening here, because you guys are the committed ones coming onto the YouTube. Just so you guys know, a couple changes that are going to be happening for Vault Round 2 when it comes to the week in review breakdown. Is it week in review or week review? What do we do? What are we calling it?
I think it's week in review, but
sure. Week.
Yeah.
Week. Yeah. We will end up
preview.
Week preview. Yeah, something like that.
There we go. Because week in review would be like,
right.
Well, I don't know. I guess you could look at it both ways.
We're going to pitch it into the Facebook group. We're actually going to shift it from here. We're going to go onto the Facebook group. Okay. And kind of go more towards our targeted audience, which is going to be great, I think, because I've been seeing some people when they ask, like, where are you guys seeing the breakdown? It's like, what? Don't you guys like the YouTube or something? But yeah, we're going to go ahead and bring it back into our group. Okay. And what else? Yeah, we have one more Vault week.
Take a week off. There is going to be a diagnostics programmed in that week off. You'll see a diagnostics on Monday, and it's going to be a very hard one. Oof. So it'll feel much like a Vault workout.
Oh my goodness.
And then we'll kick up round 2 the week after that.
Man, I forget how many things that we have behind the app, huh? When's
so
the last time you touched diagnostics workout?
I haven't done one in a while. Like I think maybe last year during the month that we did diagnostics.
Oh my goodness.
So It's been a while.
All right. Yeah. Well, all of you guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week. We're looking forward to catching up with you next week. It'll be Miranda and myself to close out week 25. Wednesday, for those of you guys watching right now, Wednesday, we're going to go ahead and do our Word on the Street episode on the meetups, in real life meetups. So stay tuned for Wednesday. because we're going to travel. I mean, this is our family time. Boys are out of school. We're not going to commit to a schedule for the Word on the Street because we're trying to soak up our summer with the boys and stuff. And I know they are going to be homeschooled, but we're ready to just snuggle them in and embrace. Let's go. Let's go travel.
Yeah.
What else is going on? I think that's it. Cool. We'll check in with you all later.
All right, guys. Have a great week.